Tonight, we're getting into it, folks. We're talking about whose legacy would be defined as a Raven, and it really helps them going forward if the Ravens win a Super Bowl. SBOB Ravens, let's get it. Let's go.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. Ravens, Ravens, hey, Ravens. We gon' ride out. Ravens, Ravens, hey, Ravens. Couch Rider.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White of rap for the beat, though.
You love me. You really love me. Okay. I am appreciative of you, and thanks for being here. And hopefully the love is both ways, folks. This is your Couch Rider Raven. Welcome back to the home of original sports perspective. From our couch to yours, your Couch Rider Raven show featuring host Jermaine Lockett, and we found Cameron, y'all. We found Cameron. It was a high. I can't even say it now. It was high speed police chase. Like OJ, actually, that was a slow chase. But still, we found him. We got him kicking and screaming. We went all the way to Jersey. We found him at a KFC. He was on a cheat day. And we was like, all right, you gotta do the show, bro. You gotta do the show. I flew all the way over from Nebraska, and we gotta make this happen. He was like, you know what, I'll put you in on my busy schedule between acting and rapping and, doing all the big things, training folks, on knife arts and doing 100-day ab challenges. Cameron was a busy man, but we got him. We got him, folks. We pulled up the white van. We shut him in. It was a long, boring ride all the way back to Nebraska, but he's here. I'm kidding, but we did get him on the show, though. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and smack the bell so you know what is going down. So you can be here for each of these live shows because, yeah, it goes down. Let's see who we got in the room. So it says 7 people. If you are one of the 7, go ahead and pop in the chat. First one's here is Lisa. Down to business, as usual. Hey, Jermaine and friends. Kelly Hansen signing gets me through chemo. Kelly Hansen's signing. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Next. Lisa says, I had a wonderful birthday. It was quiet and received presents like an Oreo shirt along with jewelry. I knew I was supposed to do something Friday. All right. Sorry about that. I'm like, I was supposed to go online for the show. Sorry, I got tied up. I was like, I'm forgetting something. What are we forgetting? Y'all could have texted me. Delicious says, what's up, Couch Rider and crew? What's good, man? Let's see who else is here. Like I said, if you're here, go ahead and hit the like button, hit subscribe, and smack the bell for me real quick. And while I'm handling some business real quick, I want to make sure that Cambrew's got the link. Hey, what you talk about on this Kelly Hansen's singing? Oh, it's Kelly Hansen singing. I was like, signing. Did we sign Kelly Hansen? My fault. All right, Brooke is here. She's also put it out on the We Are the Ravens flock page. So if you are a member of the We Are the Ravens flock, you get some really good info there, some good chats, some controversial topics. A lot of idiots in there who think they know Ravens ball. I'm kidding. It's a lot of fun topics in there, and some people go completely left field. They want us to sign everybody, and we want people completely in wheelchairs coming back out of retirement. It's good times. All right. So today's moment of controversy. The moment of controversy, something that has been on my mind for a while. is AI. AI is all around us now. It either helps write scripts, it takes down feelings, it talks to people. If you ask AI to roast you, AI will roast you in the worst of ways because it knows your chat history, it knows your search history, and so it will start to pull up things about you and then just full on treat you like, hey, one of the homies in the car roasting you on the way to the club or something. And I'm like, wow, it really talks trash about me pretty badly. Brought out my show and everything. I got roasted bad. So, but it's also going to be used as a very good, useful tool. And I've been told that when it comes to AI, you cannot let it be the head chef. You can let it be the sous chef, but you are the head chef, and it should be more of an assistant to you. But in my question is, do you believe AI is a good thing or a bad thing? Love to hear your comments here in the chat. If you're on Facebook, please come on over to YouTube and hit the subscribe button. If you are on Twitter right now, shout out. Thanks for looking at the channel on Twitter, but come on through. We'd love to have you on the show. And you can chop it up in here and see the comments that are in this room, which are the main ones. All right, so here we are. AI is scary. AI is low-key scary. I'm good. Not good at all. That's what I'm getting right here. Oh my goodness. Lisa said, how long did it take to find Camero? Actually, he found me. He actually texted me today. But AI, it can be scary. It is competitive, I can tell you that much. So I want you to think about this. I put in 250 applications since November for jobs, for opportunities, hoping that there was an opportunity that lined up with something that I would be interested in, because I am basically 23 working days from retirement. It is getting real, folks. I'm getting real, and of course, I still got some trucks and stuff to pay off, and I'd like to continue working because I don't think I could just sit here at the house and try to figure out how to do a show all the time. I ain't got them skills like engraving. I don't have that type. I mean, I have passion, but I don't have that drive like engraving does to continue to do show. And maybe I could, but it's just not something I was always thinking about. Like, hey, let's do this, unless we got the community. Now, if I had over let's say 3,000 or 4,000 subscribers, then yes, I would go ahead and probably try and do the show on a regular, because there would be a substantial amount of income coming in because of the show. But because there is next to no income, we're just doing it, we're having fun, and we're just hanging out on Monday nights, then I can't just continue to do this. Anyway, but I'm talking about the amount of resumes that I submitted in November to now is 250. Because of all the AI tools people are using, 11,000 resumes are being submitted on LinkedIn per second because of what is going on with AI. Now, if that ain't scary, I don't know what is. And it can be a good thing. It can be a bad thing. Good thing because, it helps people submit those resumes with ease because they just sign up through a platform and they're getting tons of hits because of all the things that they pushed out. But guys who don't use AI in that format is taking this one little resume, or taking his small little 250 and tossing it into basically like snowballing the hell and trying to figure out how to get a job. Fortunately, I have a job, and I'm very grateful because I'm waiting on an offer, but they did tell me I did get the job, and I am excited and thankful. And no matter what you're competing up against, whether it be AI or not, prayer works. And when you're doing things for good people out there, the world pays you back. So just keep that in mind. Other ways that AI though can be scary is because it knows so much. But there's a downside to AI knowing so much, or just producing so many different models, that there are AI trackers out there. And the second you try to cheat something, like say for students, and for instance, if they decide to cheat an assignment, my wife's a teacher. She can actually use AI to sniff out if they cheated on the assignment or not, with these people who check job resumes. They can tell if it was written with AI. They can tell if a cover letter is written with AI. It can help you once you get into the position, but trying to get into one, it gets a little hard. Tell me about a time you used AI and it was either good or bad for you. And while you're doing that, I'll get my list together for this evening because we got some things to talk about, folks. We got to talk about the top 10 Ravens that are SBOB, folks. And probably like you're like, well, why are they SBOB? Why are they SBOB? There's a reason. I think they're SBOB, and I'll tell you that here in a minute as we go into each one of these. But I'll give you a couple more seconds to give me a reason, good or bad, AI, or give me a story or something, and then we'll get right into it. And Cameron is always going to try to find a way into the show because it's summertime. His time is coming to a close because these teachers are coming to get their kids back, and I'm so excited. I know he's not going to hit the shower.
Roger's the cooler dad.
That was pretty hurtful. It was hurtful to the core right there, but that's okay. Give me just 1 second here. All right, so we got 7 comments here. Let's talk about AI here. Oh, other people just saying what's up. Gerald's here. Big Reg is here. He says hello. Well, hello, Purple Patrol. How's everybody doing? I love it. People saying what's up. Lisa says she don't use AI. Brooke says, does anyone know Jimmy Lee, a very big Ravens fan? He's in the group. What's up, Lisa? I'm doing fine, Gerald. Okay, so I don't know Jimmy Lee. Well, invite Jimmy Lee to the group. All right, obviously, I don't want to talk AI. Let's move forward. So we're going to talk about these 10 Ravens that are SBOB. And the first one, y'all going to be like, seriously, he just came to the team. But, I mean, you got to think about it. I mean, you're 31 years old. You've only played 38 games. You have not even 2,000 yards receiving. 2,000 yards passing. 12 touchdowns defines your career and 5 interceptions. Of course you want to be, you're going to end up being SBOB because you're here. You with the flock now. But you're 31 years old, and I think you need this on your resume because you helped follow and help prepare the Baltimore Ravens for a Super Bowl. And if Lamar Jackson's unavailable for some reason, you're the one that's got to step in. Cooper Rush is on the SBOB list. And you're like, why? Because he's short term here. He is short term. This dude is not going to be here long. We know that. But he's had 38 career games in 8 years. Former Dallas Cowboy, who's always, every time you talk about the Dallas Cowboys to a Dallas Cowboy fan, they always think, hey, Super Bowl or bust with the Dallas Cowboys. At least they always think that in their minds. They're like, this is our year. But they have a very, very talented NFC East. That's a very tough division to play in. Not saying that ours isn't, but when you are there with the Eagles, who are balling with probably one of the best rosters in the NFL, the Commanders, who were a surprise in an NFC championship showing. That was fantastic what he did in his rookie year, Jaden Daniels. And John's are trash. But then you have the Cowboys that are competitive. Let's just call it what it is. They compete every year. They come out looking good those first 3 weeks. and then it all goes to heck after that. But for Cooper Rush to be on this team, you have to think that, hey, He wants to make sure that he staples his name in history with us, so we could have the ring with the wonderful wings coming out like the Eagles did this year. Okay, so Cooper Rush is number 10. Number 9. Number 9 on the list for the SBOB Ravens is Patrick Ricard, folks. Look, this dude is a free agent next year. He's 31 years old. His agent, Buddy Baker, wants to come to the table and say, look, my guy, Pancake, is ready for that big deal contract. Because right now, y'all ain't paying him enough. And he helped you guys get to the Super Bowl. He helped lead the way for Derrick Henry. He wants to be able to bang the table, and this will solidify his impact in a position that is shrinking in the NFL. Every time you turn around, fullbacks are almost extinct. It's insane how bad it is with the fullback position. It's just one that he's got to prove he's indispensable and that this is a championship caliber team, and it's because he's there. Getting the Super Bowl would definitely help turn the whole position group around if he has an impact. And he's not going to get too many more chances if he's not with us to go to a Super Bowl. Just saying, this is his crucial shot to get there. Let's pay some bills. Oh, no. Brooke, I'm sorry to hear about the guy. Jimmy Lee. How did he pass? All right, moment of silence for Jimmy Lee. All right. G Money says, what's up, G Money and Big Reg? Oh, there he is. He's in the room, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, in the millions around the world. Here he is. We found him. Cameroon's here, y'all. Well, he was.
I'm right here. I don't know what's going on with this day one.
Like, I can see you on the bottom screen, but I can't see you up here on the top.
I don't know. It's freezing.
Okay, there you go. Welcome to the show, man.
What's up, man? It took me forever. I had to read this. Man, I don't know. I might have to take this back to the.
Yeah. All right. So, only things you really missed was we talked about AI, how it can be a good thing or a bad thing. And they didn't really participate that much. They just said AI is scary. I've recognized I'm competing with AI just about with everything I do in my position. But I also use AI to my advantage. So, but we also jumped into the SBOB Ravens already. You missed Cooper Rush is number 10. And I see that, while he's only been here a short time, his window is also very short because, like, after he leaves the Ravens, we don't know who's going to pick him up or if they're even going to be contenders for a Super Bowl. But he is on a very competitive team right now that, he could step in at any moment and help these guys prepare to win a Super Bowl. But if he doesn't, it doesn't really hurt him too bad, but at the same time, it would help him so much more if he is on a Super Bowl caliber team.
Yeah,
and he can learn to bring that scheme elsewhere.
Excuse the mess in the back of the bags. I'm sorry. All right.
Right about it, man.
This is my computer room.
Yeah, I don't even want to show you the rest of this room. I've had terrorists go through this room. It's been
what's up,
summertime, man.
What's up? What's going on, Lisa? Brooke, G, B Cam, what's happening? All right, so only miss Cooper Rush?
Yeah, you missed Cooper Rush and Pat Ricard.
Okay.
Lisa says keep Pat Ricard, of course. She's she's big time fan. And let's see here. The next one after Pat. What's up?
They got a Pat Ricard part 2 from that served in the. I think he played for the Navy or the Army. He's on the roster right now. He's 290 fullback.
Okay.
So,
of course, if that don't work out, then I don't really think we're gonna keep 2 fullbacks on the roster, right?
He'll be on the practice squad, but I think
Mhm.
he's going to be Ricard's replacement come next year.
All right, so this next guy is last year he did pretty well. I mean, almost 600 yards. Actually, did have over 600 total yards and 4 touchdowns. It was a big year, but at the same time, he's got people chomping at the bit trying to get some of those reps in the backfield. He's a free agent in 2027. I guess he signed a 2-year deal recently. 28 years old is what we got him at right now. And he's earning $2.4 million a year. Ladies and gentlemen, Justice Hill. Justice Hill is SBOB. He is definitely SBOB because if he is able to help the Ravens to win a Super Bowl, and of course we got Keaton Mitchell on the roster, there's going to be a lot of decisions that are going to have to be made because a lot of agents are going to bang the table and say, hey, this is my guy. He wins this Super Bowl, he gets to go probably and command a contract. Yeah, probably a trade, but command a contract that is worthy of what he's capable of doing. Now, of course, he's not going to get that here because we got basically to pay Lamar Jackson one of the highest contracts in NFL history. Right now, he's not earning. He's only a $43 million cap hit. But this next year, Lamar's got a $74 million cap hit, and that's kind of why reason he might make the list. We'll see. But I do believe that Justice Hill should definitely be SBOB because he set career highs as a rusher and a receiver. So we're not going to continue to get that production for cheap. He's also like I said, roster competition going on with him and Keaton Mitchell. And then of course Ravens they channel out running backs. Running backs just come out of nowhere and want to perform.
Ali, bro.
Yep. Ali, right?
Sleeping on Rashad Ali.
Yeah, and that's gonna be another problem.
Yeah.
And then with the 2-year extension, he re-signed his status signals trust, but it's also a payoff is expected from us. We expect, this money that we did pay him, but this extension, we want that to be in this championship window because we believe that we can get it done with justice in the house.
Mm.
Let's pay some bills here. Let's see here. B Cam says, what's up? Delicious says, Mr. Consistent. LOL. I say it every time, but his development has been incredible when it comes to Justice Hill. I agree. I think I was excited when he got drafted because I knew what his potential could be. I had pictures of Ferraris in a garage when I was and I think I had a picture of Hollywood Brown and Lamar and Justice Hill, and I compared them to Ferraris. And I was like, all this speed is fantastic. And I knew what he was capable of, and here we are. We're seeing it. So, and of course, if he gets that Super Bowl, if he doesn't get the Super Bowl this year, then it's like, okay, are we going to see as much of him because Keaton is developing, Ali's developing. We're going to continue to see the rise of this young roster, and who knows, we might even get a running back next year, and it makes it a little bit more difficult for him and his future with the Ravens. Okay. Brookie loves justice.
You know, Justice.
So she says she loves.
You're not going. We carried 4 running backs last year. I think we will carry 4 again this year. I don't know why people keep thinking that we're not going to carry 4. I think we are going to carry 4, just because both Justin and Keaton have been injured.
Yeah, it's a long season, man. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, but they've been injured. They ain't like, that concussion was bad, man, that he had got last year.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right, y'all think you'll like this one? This next guy. So he's been defined by basically 2 plays. He's had 1 touchdown in his entire career on 1 touchdown receiving. You know what I'm saying? And then he had the other one, of course, on the punt return. It was magical. Lit the whole world on fire that night or that day in overtime. But he's had limited opportunities. But he's made the best out of each one of those opportunities. When he's got his number called, he's been great. It's just Tylen. Tylen is SBOB. Right now, Tylen has been fighting on the back end of a roster for roster spots, man. If he is a significant part of our postseason that gets us to a Super Bowl, this takes his career on a different trajectory than he could ever imagine. Because right now, he's still going to be that guy fighting for that back position. And I know it's frustrating because, like, we're looking at probably what position number 4.
Mhm.
But LeJounte's around and he's sniffing. You got Dayton Wade around. He's sniffing. Tez Johnson wants reps. He's like, look, I scored a touchdown with my one catch. Like, come on, my first catch. Let's get it.
Devontae Walker. You
Oh,
said
Tez
Johnson.
Walker. No, Tez Walker, not Tez Johnson. I'm thinking about Tampa Bay.
That's all right. That's all right.
That's a speedster too. But anyway, yeah, Tez Walker's there. He's ready. There's so many dogs that are waiting for their opportunity. And if
Mhm.
Thailand doesn't show up big and help this team get to a Super Bowl, we might be singing a different tune next offseason. Because right now, if you look at any television show that tries to give an analysis on the Baltimore Ravens full roster, the weakness that they're saying is the receiving core, which is it don't make sense to me because we got a squad. We got dogs. They don't believe in Zay. They don't believe in Rashad. And I think this year that they're going to be made believers. But I don't know what they need to see. We saw what Zay could do. We saw what Rashad could do last year.
Yeah.
And of course, Nuke is here.
They have ESPN has Baltimore ranked as the number one, the number one having the number one roster.
Mm-hmm. And
And
I'm like, and they're like, oh, well, their only weak point is
especially
receiver.
today, and they don't believe that we have a good. No one believes we have a good receiving core, which is
And it's frustrating because it's like when you say receiving core,
no, they're just talking about just off the starters. They don't think they don't. They talked about Bateman. He's like, he's okay. It says Zay Flowers. He's okay.
yeah, I'm like, okay. I'm like, come on. And then like I try to compare some of the stats to some of the top tier receivers, and our guys were beating some of the top tier receivers in certain categories. I think yards per catch was one of those. And then total touchdowns.
It's hard it's frustrating to me to hear that now because I think we do have a good receiving core.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we have a great receiving core because we only have one Pro Bowl receiver. I mean, Hopkins. I'm not including Hopkins in that. I'm just saying as far as they coming from our tree. But
Mm-hmm.
even with Hopkins in it, they think, oh, well, Hopkins is on the back end of his career. But just to start and just talk the 2 starting receivers that we have, I think Bateman is way better than people give him credit for.
Facts.
And I definitely think Zay is way better than people give him credit for. I just don't think that because we have never been, none of the receivers have been putting up like astronomical numbers as far as catches. And it's not really because we don't throw the ball, because we do throw the ball a lot. Now we do, more than usual. It's the fact that look at all the big plays that we have to be the number one big play team ever. Every time Henry touched the ball, a good 70% of the time, maybe 60, not to be too much. 60% of the time he touched the ball, he was taking it to the house. It didn't matter where it was. Lamar do something spectacular. Somebody catching a touchdown. It ain't like every drive is methodical. Like it's just like we don't do that. So you're not gonna be getting like Zay's not gonna walk out there and get 10 catches every game. It's just not gonna happen.
Yep.
Because anybody on the team can catch and get loose with this type of offense. Which
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. Like I don't know. But I'm glad they feel like they underrated. I'm glad they're saying that because that's just gonna make them work hard.
Yeah,
So,
and I think I like the fact that these guys come out there and they do the dirty work that most wide receivers are not wanting to do here in this league. You got guys like Pickens making business decisions on blocking. Yeah, he's a highlight receiver, but at the same time, we still need you in the trenches blocking and making sure you're springing guys to break loose. And it's just the selfishness of the position is very clear when it comes to a few of these guys. But you can see our guys come out there, they put the hard hat on, and they go to work. Our next guy. I guess one more comment about Thailand. Like I said, free agent in 2026, and he also is 26 years old. So let's get more moments, stack plays on stack plays on top of plays. Let's make it a Super Bowl year for Tylen, so that his career can go in a great direction.
Yeah. He goes someplace else, he definitely gonna be a number 3, if not a number 2 someplace. Maybe
All
next
right.
year.
So our next one.
They give him the chance to just be the number 3.
Yeah. All right, our next one. It's got Kyle Van Noy. Of course, it's obvious, of course he's a little older. The Mormon Monster has been around for a hot minute. 34 years old. This dude's had 12 and a half sacks this last season. You want to get the last bit of scraps of as far as the big money, because these big time contracts are coming out there right now. And if he can show that he is timeless and gets to a Super Bowl this year, he is in line for one of those bigger deals. Not one of the big time $40 million deals, but he knows that he can get somewhere around the teens or maybe even the 20s as far as the millions if he gets a Super Bowl. We know we're not going to have him next year either, so I definitely put him on the SBOB.
Maybe he can walk off like Ray did and retire. He got a couple of rings already in New England. So can't say he hasn't had a ring. He has 2 of them. So, can't be upset at that part.
Yeah, but I think it's a bank thing for him.
Yeah.
Like he gets this Super Bowl, he gets to go to the table to the Ravens and almost name his price based on it. Of course, there's probably a price bracket situation based on age and production, and we're paying for what you're going to do, not necessarily what you did do. But he does have a little bit more bargaining power with the Super Bowl or bust type situation. But we lose him next year. That's what's kind of scary. So a lot of this 2026 roster is going to be so different if we don't get these extensions handed out. Let's pay some bills. All right. Delicious says, not saying it will happen this year, but I can see Zay and Bate both touching 1K. It's a good thought, but Derek gonna eat. And as long as Derek is eating, can only see one of those guys reaching 1,200 yards, we'll say. I say the other one gets about 7. I'll even go as high as 7 on the other one.
Didn't Bate have 7 this year?
I think Beto has 7, but Beto had 12 touchdowns.
I'm saying, didn't he have 7 this year? 700?
I think he did, yeah. And then Zay he topped over 1,000. If he would have had more without the injury, but things happen. All right, DC, what's up? DC. Okay, is it DC or DC? I don't even know. Say Ravens roster is always designed to spread things around, even if Zay or Nate was that nobody even has the chance to put up top 10 numbers. And we're not expecting them to. I don't think the Ravens expect highlight reel numbers or top 10 list numbers when it comes to that receiving core. And that's not an expectation for championship football. It's the unselfish mentality. You got to have that. And I think these guys do. Okay, so he says Tylen had top 5 wide receiver season at OKC, but they'll never take that. That's gonna be Oklahoma State. Yeah, Oklahoma State. And he said they'll never take that from. Yeah, when it comes to the stats, your wide receiver history for college, it's cemented, but we need that production here. Anyway, back to Calvin Noy, another 10 sack season. You love to see it. Yeah, we definitely need that. More experience than the baby Ravens. Yes, good mentor, but we lose that mentoring ability, and that's why we really need that Super Bowl this year so that we don't have to – we can rebuild towards that. But Kyle's got the experience that we need going forward. Delicious says, I think if someone throws a big bag at him, he'll continue to play.
Oh, yeah.
Who's throwing the bag?
Sure.
So I think he goes in, we win the Super Bowl, he goes for it and bangs the table with some garbage team and then gets paid.
I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to go right into his – he's already working on his analyst career. So he's already been on like NFL Live. He's been on Good Morning Football a couple of times. He was on a couple of the shows. So he's trying to get himself ready.
So you think he just goes and graduates into television once he wins Super Bowl again?
He already, working on his post career, so it makes
Yeah.
sense. It makes sense. Well, either that or coach, I think.
Yeah. I think decide. Yeah, okay, cool. Let me just put that out there so y'all know and we know. Say it like Psy. So Psy says if we win, he'll walk. And then the Ravens draft another next year if Mike Green outplays Owe and Ajabo. So I think he mentors Green and some of Owe, but we still go after another pass rusher. But I think Green and Owe take over for the squad, and he graduates to the television studio.
Well, they got to sign. They got to sign always. I don't think they're going to franchise tag him. They need to get it.
Yeah,
deal done. I think
they definitely need to get that deal done.
They're gonna keep him. I don't think Ajabo. I think this would be. I don't think we'll cut Ajabo. I hope not. I'm praying that he has a great season so we can go ahead and get paid elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see him going to Detroit or going to Seattle.
Yeah, we don't need another Zadarius Smith situation with Owe. So I think he's got to get signed. I said we don't need another Owe or another Zadarius Smith situation.
Well, I saw somebody that does Ravens reports talk about that as well. The difference between them and Owe is a first rounder. So I don't know how many first round edge rushers we actually let walk. We only signed one that was in the first round, and we ain't never let him walk. He retired. Well, he didn't retire here, but he went off and won one more Super Bowl at Kansas City, and that was Suggs.
Yeah.
So other than that, all the other first rounders we never really let walk. Not that played outside linebacker. I don't recall any of them. Not that have been first rounders. So in Owe's trajectory, he's been going up each year. So, I mean, you just seen what's my man from Kansas City, Carl Office. He just got his deal.
Yeah, he did.
And he got drafted after.
I just want to see what they daggone cap looks like because
they
making a lot happen with much ain't much on that cap at all. The Kansas City Chiefs.
They got a lot on that cap because they can always restructure. Remember, he signed a 10-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
Mahomes signed a 10-year deal, so they can always restructure and open up more cap space. That's the thing. He set it up perfectly for himself. So I'm sure
they got 20 mil in cap space right now.
Huh?
Says they got 20 mil right now.
Oh, Kansas
the
City?
Chiefs.
I believe it.
That's crazy. Oh, anyway, so we're going to move on to
middle linebacker. He didn't play outside linebacker. I said outside linebacker. D. Now CJ Mosley only left because we didn't let him walk. We actually tried to sign him, but the Jets offered Jets overpaid him, to be quite honest. So he was already getting more money than who's the middle linebacker that got a lot of Luke Kuechly. And then CJ wanted to get paid. We offered more money. And I think it was about Kuechly was getting 15 something. We offered him 16, and the Jets came in and offered him 17. So he went with the Jets. That's the year they overpaid him, and they overpaid what's my man, the running back Bell.
Mm-hmm.
That played for the Steelers.
Oh, yeah, they paid him 14 mil, didn't they?
Yeah. But I'm talking about outside linebacker. No edge rushers have been in the first round that we let walk. We never let any of them walk. So I'll be surprised if we let Owe walk.
So I wanted to let y'all know something ahead of time before you see this number one on the list as we go down here. So we are sitting at number 6. So we're heading down to 5. Lamar Jackson is not on this list, but it's obvious that he's Super Bowl bust. We recognize that this guy is in a Super Bowl type window, and if we want him to not be the talk of every talk show during the offseason of he can't do it in the playoffs and all this nonsense, he's definitely a Super Bowl bust. I thought that was the obvious option out there was Lamar Jackson, but we'll keep going. The next one,
the talk of the town because they don't want to give the best player in the NFL is Flowers.
Yep, absolutely. Next, Nuke. I believe Nuke is definitely Super Bowl of bust right now. We're looking at a guy who's 33 years old, and his legacy needs to be cemented for him to be able to ride off into the sunset with a Super Bowl. You know, he's only been to the one Super Bowl, and he lost.
Yeah.
You know, and in 2024, you know, production was a little bit low between the two teams. He scored 1 touchdown with Tennessee and 4 with the Chiefs at 610 total yards. He's aging. He's getting up there. The icy hot is a new normal routine for this guy because of the fact that he's just up there in age, and we lose him next year. We need to show why we shoved 4 different void years on the back end of his contract to pull this guy in. $749,000 extra each year if we don't get a Super Bowl with Nuke. Because we gave him a $6 million year deal, but that was for 1 year. He gets voided out. He's a free agent in 2026. We have to do more than we did before when we had OBJ. Or I mean, personally, if we had similar production with a great run game and our 2 top wide receivers show up and he is just there to help move chains, I'm great with that. But he definitely needs a Super Bowl on his resume so that he can say, "Hey, I've been to the top of the mountain, and we took charge, we won it." Be great.
On the sidebar, on the low, I think he's actually going to be a big influence for Tez Walker. I think he's going to help Tez tremendously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the mentoring aspect is definitely there, but we lose all of those mentors.
That's his wide receiver coach during the offseason.
What's his name?
North Carolina, huh?
What's the wide receiver coach's name?
Hakeem Nicks, the one that played for the Giants.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Is it Hicks?
I thought it was Nick.
Works out with him. And they both went to the University of North Carolina. He works out with him. But Hicks ain't never had that type of speed, but Hicks had great hands.
Yeah.
He had great hands. But
his hands are huge though. He had the huge mitts, right?
Yeah, they remember that year that he won 1 Super Bowl with him. And then I'm sorry, I was trying to get something off my screen. Anyway, so he works out with him, and he reminds me a lot of Hopkins. Hicks does, and I think having a veteran like that is going to help out Tez more than any of them. To be honest with you, because they had Odell, Tyler had Odell, Zay, all of them had Odell. Tez didn't have a viable, we want to say a future Hall of Famer, around him like the rest of them did. So I think it's going to really help out Tez a lot.
I think D-Side brings up a really good question here.
Huh?
So D-Side brought up a really good question here. Like, hey, do you think D-Hop is a Hall of Famer?
Absolutely. No question. No question in my mind. Absolutely. Hop was one of the best receivers the whole time.
Garbage quarterbacks.
Had no quarterback at the Texans. No quarterback until 1 year with Deshaun. He had no quarterback and was still putting up crazy numbers.
They remind me of was it Marvin Harrison when he was like I think he was talking to Curtis Painter, and Painter was just holding the clipboard, never thinking he'd ever get in for Peyton. And all of a sudden he's like, "Look, man, you want to win this game? Just throw the ball up. Just throw me the ball." It's like, just throw it up, bro. Yeah. And I think that's how Nuke was. And he was just like, I'll go get it.
That's it.
And so a lot of people agree D-Hop definitely getting a yellow jacket. Let's move forward here past Nuke because we recognize that he's an aging star. His light is definitely fading. This is where he needs to be able to deliver now or face questions when it does come to the Holiday of Fame. That yellow jacket, we consider like, boom, he should be there. But this was put the cherry on top to say, okay, let's go ahead and get him a first ballot.
Yeah, you're gonna put.
All right, number 4, Roquan. So here's a guy, he came off of a 154 tackle season. He's getting a little slower. We saw that. We saw that at the beginning of the season, and maybe that was because of the scheme he was trying to catch on. But here he is, 28 years old. He's a free agent in 2028, so we got him for a little bit. But honestly, if he's getting slower and these tight ends are getting more athletic and more fast, and he is not able to cover that ground as well, then of course with aging linebackers, retirement comes looming before the Super Bowl. We want it now so that we can cement this guy as one of the legacy guys for the Baltimore Ravens. What are your
I think
thoughts?
he was trying to figure out the scheme. I think more he was trying to do everybody's job last year. Opposed to so much the communication. It seemed like the communication was the biggest problem.
Rozempic?
Yeah.
Okay.
He got
Is he calling him fat?
he rolled. They said during minicamp, Rose looked like he was ready to go. He was out there covering whoever. He was covering the running backs. He was covering whoever. He was rolling. So I think he motivated. Now that somebody said anonymously that they don't want to put their name on it. He ain't in shape. He be in shape off and on. I mean, he looked like they said he looked like he was ready to roll.
Mm-hmm.
So
all right, so here we go. We got another so we've gone through Roquan. We do think like, hey, he needs to recover from that. So this next guy, he needs to recover from the playoff embarrassment. Let's just call it what it is. A lot of different feelings, a lot of mixed feelings when it came to this guy, Mandrews, last year. Between the fumble when he was trying to do too much and whatever excuse we can make of for the drop, but it happened. And, we would sit to the couch, but this is a guy who's going to be a free agent this next season. And it's because the Ravens haven't extended an offer, because I think we're debating, do we pay Likely? Can we pay Likely and Mandrews? Or do we pay him at all because of the $16 million cap hit he currently has? Now, if we had dropped him before, I think it was the June 1st deadline, that would have saved us some money, I think $4 million. But he would have been able to save the Ravens $11 million on a cap. I think that time has passed. I think they are locked in considering the season and like how we're going forward. And they know how much Lamar loves this guy. So I think he still needs to have that comeback to get this monkey off his back from the last time we saw our Baltimore Ravens was through heartbreak. He's got elite production. I mean, we know it. He's up there. He's still on the top 10 list, but he needs to get it done this year. He is definitely SBOB because we may be saying farewell when it comes to Mark Andrews. All right. Number 2. Now, this guy, of course, it should be obvious. As we get down this list, let me see if there's a comment here. Okay. So I like to keep both, but Mandrews is definitely gone after this season unless he takes a super cheap deal. Now, the scary side of this whole saying so long is there's another team that kind of licks their chops when it comes to little gems dropping off somewhere. And apparently they have the cap space to be able to sign a guy like that. Kansas City Chiefs. If we somehow get rid of Andrews, I could see him easily going over there and being matching up with Mahomes perfectly.
I think after this year, he's going to Tampa. He's going to go play with his best friend.
All right, next, let's see. Let's read these comments here. I would like to keep both. Andrews is definitely gone after this season unless he takes super cheap. Besides, says
you missed one. You missed one. All the way up.
Missed one? Okay. Who did I miss? Oh, what? Oh, no. Okay. D-Side says, if Teddy starts over Simpson, things should be smoother. He was better in coverage at Cal and in the gaps.
I don't know about that. It's different, man. Y'all gotta remember when Simpson came out, he was the best. He was the best inside linebacker in the draft. Even though he didn't go one. Campbell, I believe, went to Detroit.
And was he playing Mike or Will in college?
He started off when he got there, he was a safety because they had what's my man's name? I can't even think his name right now. Simmons that came out with Patrick Queen. He was the main. He was the main. So the way he was the star. He was the star backer. So he had him at safety, whatever. Then he went down to Mike. Then he had to play Will. Then sometimes they used him on the edge, but he also covered. That's why he don't have no problem covering. So I don't know about the coverage thing. I think the fact of the matter is you got to remember he got here the first year. You got one defensive coordinator, and then everybody. It seems like people tend to forget. There was a lot of problems last year with Orr, and I'm not knocking Orr. I'm just saying the fact that is it the same Ravens defense? Yes, but if it's a different coordinator, his way of doing things might be a lot different in the way that it was done with Mike McDonald. So Simmons is probably used to that. Then he came over. And Patrick Queen was horrible his first 2 years at inside linebacker until he got, to his third year. So I don't think Simmons was bad. I think the zone coverage was where he struggled. It wasn't man to man. He never struggled with man to man. And the only problem I have with Teddy, I do like him. One, because he got my name, but the other reason I do like him. But I seen Cal when he got to play the run. Sometimes them guards was eating him alive. Like I don't know, if he didn't want to take him on or whatever. But sometimes it didn't look that good. But I think he's going to be good. I don't think that you're going to start a middle linebacker for us the first year. I just don't think that's just very difficult in this type of scheme for the defense. When they even think how good Kyle was. Kyle didn't even start at safety when we had him here. We had to put him at slot and how smart he is. So it's difficult for somebody to start at middle linebacker or safety in this defensive scheme because you have to know so much. Now, Malachi was kind of like forced into that role. He would have been the third safety rolling off until then. But thank God we have the best safety in the world playing next to him, so I think Malachi will be okay. But going back to inside linebacker, if Simmons if he doesn't do good this year, Trent don't do good this year, then he ain't never gonna do good. But if you've been working with Rowe the whole season, off season, you're gonna be special. He's a smart dude. He can cover. It's just it's the zone coverage that he had a problem with. Man to man, he can cover. So, we'll see.
I think when it comes to Simpson, it's sometimes it takes a year or two for the game to slow down for you because he's such an athletic specimen.
Yeah,
And he's got all the attributes that can go with a great inside linebacker. He just got to let the game come to him. Let's move forward into number 2. Or was that number 3? Number 2.
No, yeah. Andrews that was the last one. I don't know if that was 3 or 4.
Oh, okay. All right. So the number 3 was Mandrews. Number 2 is Derrick Henry.
Probably not number 1.
Yeah, there's one of the guy I had on that list.
I know. I know who it is.
Yeah.
In my head, I know who it is.
Yeah. So Derrick is, he's 31 years old. Like I said, another guy, icy hot, is a normal routine, but he's grinding during the offseason. You can see his workouts. They are insane. Running uphill at high speeds, the way he is carrying chains and tires and everything else with him up these hills during these workouts. He coming off a 16 touchdown, 1,921 yard season. He has been extremely productive in his older age, but people don't believe he can bring it home. This is something that would definitely put him in the staple of top tier running backs throughout NFL history. He brings that type of tenacity, that nastiness to his game, and of course that speed and athleticism, that home run ability. But how long does he have left? And then what does his contract look like in the future? Because he's with us till 2027, thank goodness. But we need to get it done right here, right now. He's got to deliver to justify this acquisition. It's going to complete his Hall of Fame resume for sure if he gets this Super Bowl, and it silenced the critics that he can be able to carry a contender. Because Tennessee looked great back in the day. They look fantastic. Like they could actually get it done and beat Patrick Mahomes. But for some reason, they fell apart just like we did in the playoffs. All right, the next one. After I get your comments here. Says we're going back to the middle linebacker conversation. It took PQ a while to get it all together. He still, like I say, he still has his particular flaws as far as being able to tackle in open space. Talking about Pat Queen. And that's a normal trend, but he is a guy who, you can see the Steelers value him highly. He showed up against us pretty well, caused a fumble. But at the same time, it's just like he's an emotional person, but this guy, he has talent and he just needs, with Queen, it's just more experience, more reps success. Because you got to figure he only played 9 games total in college before he was drafted. And he started 9 games in college before he was drafted.
He didn't start the season off as the starting middle linebacker.
I don't think he did. Yeah, it's just he showed up towards the end. It just popped on tape and managed to get a high amount of media in his direction. Let's see. Desai says number 1 is Harbaugh. Henry is still on pace to catch Emmett. Okay. So the number 1, of course, this is another guy who needs the icy hot, but he's the jokester of the squad, and we need him. We need him to win now. We need him to, because he's highly productive in his older age. He's 29 years old. Corners don't usually last until their 30s, man. It's not a thing. Everybody's not Deion Sanders lasting over here at 37 years old after taking a year off or something. Marlo has talent.
Gonna be the one. I wasn't thinking Marlo.
Who you think?
I was thinking Ronnie Stanley. But go ahead, you're right.
Ronnie is a good one. That is a good one. There's a few good SBOBs that pop up on the mind.
He's actually, if you think about it, he's the oldest Raven on the team. As far as it has been, that was drafted by the Ravens.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think Ronnie definitely has something to prove because right now, every time you think about Ronnie, the word injury is tied to the name alongside his great performance.
Yeah.
But you can tie Super Bowl champion. Injury is not the name that's going to be tied or not the label that's tied to this guy. Right. If you get that to him. Marlo, what's up?
I said, God willing, he can stay healthy all the way through the whole season, man. No problems.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you
off. You good, man? I think that was a great consideration for a number 1. And I'm definitely with that one. I like that one just as much as I like Marlo. But Marlo's like the cornerstone of this defense right now. Between him and Kyle, his play is crucial in high-level situations. But we can't expect that to be the case going forward in 2026 and 2027. We have to look in a new, different direction. And the best way to do that is to send this guy off into the sunset as a champion at this level. He has tasted the championships at previous levels. He needs one here.
I love the fact that Marlo wants to be as great as that 2000 defense was. I want that for them. I think Zach Orr has the capability to coach them up to be that great. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I really want that for Zach Orr. I want that for us. Man, it hasn't been a defense that dominant since the last defense that was that dominant was Denver. And then, so I'm just saying every few years you have a dominant team with a dominant defense. Denver last. Before Denver, what was it? Seattle. And then before Seattle, it wasn't anybody for a long stretch of time. Not that I can think of. Maybe the Giant team that beat that caught fire and that beat New England in 07.
Yeah.
But other than that, like it really just hasn't been like a dominant defense like that.
But, of course, there's us and the Steelers from that period after. Of course, if we're going forward or backwards backwards to forward. I mean, we can say 2000 Ravens, the 2001 through 2005 Patriots, then the Ravens again, and then the Steelers along those lines with a combination of Ravens in between all the way up until we get to the Legion of Boom dang there. And then going forward with the Donkeys.
Like setting records, like the Legion of Boom set records. Like I think the Steelers teams were great. I don't think they were like dominant. Like they didn't set the records. That's what I'm talking about as far as the records. Like,
Oh, okay.
the Boom was setting records. The 2000 Ravens set records.
Mm-hmm.
The Denver Broncos defense was like, what was it? No fly zone, whatever they call themselves. They set a record. I wanted to happen for us again. I think,
and we can. This guy, Orr's got a nice tuned up Cadillac right now. It's perfect. It's a really good looking Cadillac, man. Them talking about the oil has been changed on it. It's got a new transmission. Yeah, I'll tell you, it's got the leather peanut butter seats with the Cadillac. We're talking about the diamond on the back. It's got the nice rag top. It's lovely. He just don't need to hit the sides with the tires. That's all he got to do is keep this thing on the road.
I hate.
All right, Brooke is yelling.
Brooke is yelling. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you a lot.
Yes, but of course, at the top of the list, even though we went through the entire list and said Marlo, it's Lamar. We know for a fact that we want to see number 1 jerseys. If you know, you know. We want to see the pundits that just stop all the nonsense with every time they mention Lamar's name, and we sitting here in the preseason. We're not even preseason yet, and they're mentioning postseason. We can't even enjoy a regular season game on Monday morning without them saying, well, can he get it done during the playoffs?
Yeah.
I want that talk to go out the window because nobody else gets talked about that much. Josh Allen has lost continually to Pat Mahomes in the playoffs, and he don't get dogged the way Lamar Jackson gets dogged, and that's not fair. And that's why he needs to be that staple for the NFL Super Bowl, or for the Super Bowl this year.
I don't know how you first of all should have won this. You should have won your 3rd MVP, and you break every record known to man, damn near. Excuse my language. Last year, like almost had 1,000 yards rushing and over 4,000 yards passing.
Mm-hmm.
Your passer rating was in the top 3 of all time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I blame Dan Orlovsky on that one.
Hold up, but yeah, no. Yeah, you number 4. Yeah, I can't blame Dan for this. You number 4 in the top 10 quarterbacks. You are number 4. You're number 4 behind Joe Burrow, behind Josh Allen. I can understand Pat. The only reason I can understand him because of the rings. Other than that, if you look at it, they gotta stop making. They can't. The team. If you want to say team success, just say team success. Don't give it halfway. They keep so every time they get ready to talk about Lamar, it's always oh well, yeah, but this happened in the playoffs. And then when they talk about Joe, it's like, oh well, when he's in the playoffs, this happened. No.
I'm like, he didn't even get to the playoffs.
Let's just keep it the same level. Keep it the same energy on all 4. Because technically, the only
two people I blame for the MVP votes, and they have votes themselves.
Yeah, but not even MVP votes. I'm talking about just now, recently, when they did the top 10 quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Our boy is number 4.
That makes sense. Can they put Joe up there? And of course, they try, they put Allen ahead of him.
But how is that possible? How?
Yeah, I get it. I think they love them some Joe. But the thing is Joe Burrow has 2 of the top receivers in the league. Lamar's receivers are supposedly not as great.
Mm-hmm.
He is making more happen than Joe is. And I get it. Joe's got a jacked up defense. We had a jacked up defense, and we figured it out.
But that's not even when it comes to. If we're going to talk about the quarterbacks, it's just funny to me. We always the narrative got to change. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about when they talk about him. It's always, well, he got a better this, he got a better that. Hold on, Sweat. He played offense. Let's talk about him in the offense. Don't even talk about nobody else. Him in the offense. He's outplayed all three of those quarterbacks that are in front of him. He's outplayed. I'm talking about the season as a whole. He's outplayed all 3 of them. He's had a better season than all of them. Only thing that Josh did that he didn't do last year, Josh had less turnovers. Two, not interceptions. He threw more interceptions than Lamar did.
Kenny's here.
Oh No, God. All right. It was a nice night. What up, Kenny? It was a nice night. We had a good night.
Oh my gosh.
Coming, tuning in. Too black, fade to black.
Yeah, we are at that time though, man. Kenny, welcome to the show, but you came in late, bro. We already tipping the couch over, man.
We falling off the couch because Kenny. We
Oh,
falling off
man.
the
Yeah,
couch because Kenny.
but it was a good Monday. What training camp starts tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So of course, don't get too overhyped, everybody, when it comes to the plays that get made on the defense right now. Every year we talk about this, and sometimes it don't look like the defense has got it together. The pads probably ain't on yet. And once the pads get on, then you're gonna see the business.
They got about 3 days before them pads come on. They ain't gonna see them pads until like Friday.
Yeah. So the t-shirts and shorts show is gonna be tomorrow. Y'all can definitely take a look, get your own opinions, but just know that it's gonna be a back and forth. It's gonna be a back and forth. Iron sharpens iron, folks. Iron sharpens iron.
Mm-hmm.
And with that said, we say thanks for coming through. Please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. We are grateful for each of y'all coming through. Please support the channel by either doing the Cash App thing or doing the supporting it on the super chats. We got t-shirts, we got water bottles, we got stickers, you name it. All those funds go to Cameron's next activity or sodas or some crap like that. But just want to say I appreciate all of y'all. Thanks for coming through. And with that, 2 claps. Fade to black.
I get Kenny off of here. Peace.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. Ravens, Ravens, hey, Ravens. We gon' ride out. Ravens, Ravens, hey, Ravens. Couch Rider. We gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White of rap for the beat, though.